What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to the final week of the MDL Week 8, where this week we're going to be going up against none other than Maki, coach of the Las Vegas Jetstreams. Here are the teams. What? Overall, terrifying team. Why the heck is Terra Chiyu allowed? I don't know. But regardless, the Terra Chiyu is electric, and they also brought Terra Poison the Vaporeon. So that's going to be very, very interesting. This is actually a very important game for both of us. This is a must-win for both of us to have a chance at making playoffs, which is insane. There's also two other coaches that have the opportunity to make playoffs. We're fighting for our position. Whoever wins this still has a shot. Whoever loses is out. It's going to be a good one. Let's freaking go. Ultimately, my chances of making it in playoffs are pretty slim, all things considered. I have to, A, win, and I basically have to help other people lose. But regardless, I'm mainly just hoping to win to make my win-loss ratio 4-4. I think I'm going to take that as a win, because this is a very tough league, so I will gladly take breaking even on wins and losses. My differential will be negative unless I 6-0, because I'm currently -6, but again, I don't care. As long as I finish 4-4, that's the main thing that I care about. Alrighty, here we go. Good luck, have fun. Let's freaking do this, and let's see what my opponent has got. We see Polt, Sneasler, Vaporeon, Chiyu, Donphan, and Galarian Moltres. This is exactly what I was expecting. Alrighty, here we go. Also, massive shoutouts to both Zach and K-Song for helping me with prep and mocks. Both of them have helped me out immensely, so that is very, very nice. So, I think what I'm going to do, my planned lead was always going to be Lando, and that's what we're going to do. I am double Assault Vest on Hydrapple and Araquanid, so that's going to be very interesting. The sooner we figure out what Chiyu's set is, the better. And also, I would love to keep off the facade that I am Choice Scarf Lando, if possible. I don't know if Chiyu will be Scarf here, but if it is, I want to keep up that facade as much as possible. So, we are going to see Maki hitting the field here. Let's go. Good luck, have fun. Let's do this, and let's see what the lead is, because this is going to impact the turns immensely. We are going to see Robin as the lead. That is going to be the Galarian Moltres. Okay, so I'm immediately just going to click U-turn here. I doubt your Scarf. I immediately U-turn into Prim. That's my first play here that I do. We are going to go for the U-turn. Interesting. So they do stay in. Very intriguing indeed. And we're going to go into Prim, because there's basically nothing that this team can do to Prim. So that's what we're going to do. Oh boy, this thing is a threat and a half, but I think we'll be okay. I think we will be okay. We're going to see a Fiery Wrath immediately. That lowers my attack, right? I think. Possibly. Probably. Does it lower my attack? No, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. So we see a Fiery Wrath. That took me down to 308. I doubt that gives me any information, but just in case it does. Let's see here. Moltres, Galar. Fiery Wrath is 13 to 15%. Yeah, that does not give me any information except that this might most likely is modest. So, yeah, okay. I think here all I need to do is fire off a Moonblast. This could be Weakness Policy, but I can punish Weakness Policy, and I don't think they're going to want to stay in here, so I'm going to go for a Moonblast. We are going to see a U-turn from them, so that also reveals that they're not choiced. That does a tiny chunk of damage, not too much though. Prim looks phenomenal in this matchup. I'm very happy about that. We're probably going to see Vaporeon be the swap. That is my assumption anyways. And it's probably going to be Covert Cloak specifically for Psychic Noise. Trixie, that is going to be the Vaporeon. Makes a lot of sense. We're going to fire off a Moonblast here. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a small chunk of damage. Let's go. We are going to see lefties. Wow. Okay, that's actually really huge. That's lefties and not Covert. Okay. So I'm immediately going to click the Psychic Noise. That is just what I do here. I click Psychic Noise. I could, in theory, well actually I could go into Araquanid here, but I don't think I need to. I think you're going to try to Wish Pass, so I'm going to Psychic Noise. And if you Terra here, that's even better. We're going to Psychic Noise. We outspeed, so this is minimum speed Vaporeon. That's good to know. Okay, minimum speed Vaporeon, unless you're clicking Roar. You are clicking Roar. I have seen this set before, so very, very interesting. I saw this set in prep. Let's see what wants to come in here. We are going to see what Pokemon is this. This is going to be Crook. Ugh, it's like the worst Pokemon that could be out in the field right now. We prevent this from healing though, which is great, so that still stays in effect. Vaporeon, let's see. I think you're going to switch. This time I will go ahead and switch it to Water Balloon! A Water Balloon! We're going to switch it to Water Balloon here. If you click Roar again, that's fine. We're going to try and prevent rocks from hitting the field, essentially, is what's going to go down here. We're going to see Scald. That's perfectly fine by me. Okay, that's fine. We're probably going to reveal that we are AV here. We see that they're no longer prevented from healing. That's fine. I think here I click Giga Drain. I think that's a pretty safe play. The switch-in's probably going to be... I guess I could honestly put Bug Buzz, actually, now that I think about it. Bug Buzz is pretty free here as well. Nothing really wants to switch into a Bug Buzz pretty freely, and it still does damage against Trixie. I'll go for Bug Buzz here, just to see what they want to do. We are going to see the Wish, so they are going to Wish Pass into something. Probably the Moltres, if I had to guess. We're going to go for Bug Buzz, though. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a small chunk of damage. We'd love to see that. We could see that they go for a Protect here to recover HP. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think, actually, you know what? I could go for a Surf here, because if you Protect, I don't lose any ground by this. If I go for a Surf, then I catch something off guard. I'm going to go for a Surf here. That is what I'm going to do. We're going to see that they stay in. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We could see a Roar here. That would make sense. Let's see. We are going to see a Roar. Okay. This is not punishing for me at all. So we've seen Scald, we've seen Roar, we've seen Wish. Most likely the last move is Protect. So that's good to know. We're going to see Talonflame come in. I obviously am going to switch out here. I'm going to go back into Araquanid every single time. I could go into Prim. Prim is another Pokemon I could switch in if they think that they're going to, yeah, depending on what they think here. And honestly, I might do that. I think they might double, predicting me to swap back into Araquanid here. I'm mainly concerned about getting burned by Scald with Prim. Because if I get burned by Scald with Prim, that's kind of bad. What's the switch in for this thing? Moltres. Moltres, I switch it to Prim anyways. I'm going to go into Araquanid. I'm going to go into Araquanid every single time for free. Chi-Yu does not want to switch in on this. Sneasler doesn't want to switch in on a Surf. Donphan obviously doesn't want to switch in on a Surf. So if they go for Flip Turn, that's good to know as well. They might have Flip Turn on this set, honestly. They could have Flip Turn here. Let's see what they opt to go for. We're going to see a Wish, so they're going to Wish Pass again. Very interesting. So I think here I'm just going to go for a Surf again. I don't see a reason why I don't. I could also just Giga Drain for more HP recovery. Do I do that? I could do that. What comes in here? Last time I clicked Surf, I think Moltres is what's going to come in here. So I'm going to Giga Drain this time, so that way I don't fire off Berserk. I think that's the best play for me to make. And at the very least, if they'd stay in, then we would get HP back. So we're going to see the swap here. Let's see what comes in. It's going to be Perez. That's going to be... Okay, interesting. So that's Holt. Holt is going to come in. Okay. You probably Giga Drain. That does a small chunk of damage. We'd love to see that. Here, my switch in for this every single time is Prim. That is just always my switch. Prim is my switch in for a lot of Pokemon, mainly the Moltres and the Pelt. Prim's job is a lot harder now since both Pult and Moltres showed up, so I do have to keep that in mind. Crook looks pretty solid here once Vaporeon is weakened down, so that's going to be my main goal, is weakening down Vaporeon. Let's see. Or at the very least, putting something in range of Moxie boosts. So that's the other thing, too. We're going to fire off and go into Siren here. Let's see what they want to do. We see a U-turn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That does a small chunk of damage. That took me down to let's see, that did about 30-ish damage, I think. Let's see. Primarina versus Dragapult. We're going to see Hello Kitty. That's going to be Sneasler coming in. Okay, so Sneasler comes in. That's fine. Let's see here. I want to assume that was this. It looks like you are special attack invested, so that's really good to know. Here I'm going to go to Pistachio every single time. This is always my switch into Sneasler. If we see a U-turn, that's fine. I'm okay with that because I can just click U-turn myself and regain momentum. So we're going to go into Pistachio here. We could see a Dire Claw. Dire Claw would be most ideal, but we are going to see a Dire Claw. Perfect. I'm getting up my rocks. I do not care. I'm getting up my rocks. That is just every single time what I do here. I think you're going to switch. I think you're worried about Scarf, and I really want to get my rocks up here. The sooner I get my rocks up, the better. We also reveal that we are a bulky-ish Landorus. That probably did less damage than they were expecting, which would make sense. We're going to see Robin. That's going to be the Moltres coming back in. I'm okay with this. I U-turn here every single time into Prim. Every single time, that is what I do. We set up rocks, we're going to immediately punish switches, which is really nice. So I'm going to go for a U-turn now, and I'm just going to circle back into Prim. They could go for a U-turn here themselves, but that is honestly okay. They're going to have a very hard time removing these rocks, and that's going to stack up a lot of damage, which I'm very happy about. We're going to go into Siren here every single time. That is very, very nice for me. We're probably going to see a U-turn here if I had to guess. We are going to see, yes, we are going to see a U-turn. Okay. That's fine. That's okay with me. That is absolutely fine with me. If we see Vaporeon come in, I go for Second Noise every single time. There is zero reason why I don't. If we see Sneasler come in, I go back into Lando. We're going to see Hello Kitty, so that's going to be this Pokemon. That's fine. We're going to go into Lando. Lando is the switch in every single time, and we are going to love it. We're going to recover some HP, obviously, which is really nice. The lefties are really coming in clutch right now, I won't even lie to you. We go into Lando every single time. Sneasler can't really do anything to Lando. We're probably going to see a U-turn if I had to guess, but again, that's going to do very little chip, and these hazards are going to stack. These hazards are going to stack fast. So that's kind of what my main mission is here. weakening things down with rocks, so hopefully Crook can come in and finish the game, or a defensive wall can, or we knock out certain pieces, that way my walls can, like, just stay up and not fall, basically. That makes sense. Words. We're gonna see a U-turn here. That's fine. Okay, so let's see what comes in here. I am a little bit worried about Berserk Moltres. I'm a tiny bit worried about that, but in like especially with Citrus Berry. I'm not sure if that's what comes in here though. I'm not sure if that's what comes in. We could see the Pult come in. I think Pult coming in here makes a lot of sense to threaten out with U-turn. We're gonna see Eric. Eric is going to be the new Pokemon. It's going to be Donphan. So are you Boots? You're not Boots. Okay, you are not Boots. So my guess is you're okay, lefties. Interesting. Are you... Okay, you do recover back at the full. Lefties is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, my guess is you're going for Spin. Let's see. My guess is, yeah, you have to be going for Spin here. Let's see, Donphan. If you're at +1, assuming you're like max HP, +1 speed, yeah, that should be fine. Let's see here. I think I might go for Earth Power here. I'm okay with going for Earth Power here. I'm okay with this. Because I think you're going to go for Rocks. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with this. This is great. This is great damage for me. We're gonna see rocks on their end. Okay, that's fine. I have Defog on Talonflame. This is fine. I'm okay with this. Donphan is weakened. That is huge. That is massive for me. We could see Moltres come in. If Moltres comes in, it's going to take damage from a Sludge Wave if I go for it. And I don't care. I'm clicking Earth Power here. Nothing wants to switch into an Earth Power. This is really good for me so far. So far, this is actually basically how my mocks went for the most part. At some point, we're going to have to get Talonflame in and click Defog especially for Araquanid and Prim. So we are going to have to do that at some point. Terra Electric Chi-Yu is scary. I was worried about that. And I did not, like, have a mock against that. I had a mock against Terra Fire and Terra Grass, but I was also worried about Terra Electric. We're going to see the swap here. Let's see if Moltres comes in, and let's see if it's Citrus. We're going to see Robin. That is going to be the Moltres. Let's see if it's Citrus Berry. Let's see. Are you Citrus Berry? And you're not. Okay. Hold on a second. Does that mean I can possibly kill this? Let's see here. Moltres... Oh, wait, I just realized. The Berserk didn't trigger. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, huh. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, well now I'm going to go for U-turn. I just go for U-turn every single time. Boom. Yeah, wow, that's actually really massive for me, I won't even lie. We could see a Roost here. I'm going to go into Prim. Prim is always my switch. I guess I could also go into... No, I think I go into Prim. I always go into Prim here. Yeah, I always go into Prim. Let's see what they want to do here. We could see U-turn into Vaporeon. We could see Sneasler come in. We're going to go see the U-turn here. That's fine. Okay. This Pokemon's going to have a very hard time switching back in until the hazards are gone. So that's really, really good to know. Let's see. What else is there? Donphan could come in if it's higher speed. It's obviously not going to come in. It's going to be Hello Kitty. Let's see. I think I go into... Yeah, I go into Lando again. We're recovering HP with lefties, which is always nice. We love to see that. I'm not Flame Body on Talonflame, so I never go into Talonflame here. Rocks is going to hurt, but that's okay. Again, I prioritize chipping down my opponent's team as opposed to my own, and especially if we can prevent Vaporeon from coming in for free, this is really, really good for me. So we're going to go into Pistachio here. That's fine. We take damage. We're going to see a Dire Claw. That's massive for me, actually. I won't even lie. Critical hit sucks. That might put me in range of CC now. I won't lie. Which would suck, because I don't have a switch in for CC. I'm going to go for an Earth Power, though. I'm going to go for an Earth Power. We're going to see a U-turn, actually, so that's fine. We are definitely in range of a CC now. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So Lando's no longer the switch for Sneasler, but that's fine because we still have Terra Poison and Hydrapple in the back that can still put in work. And the nice thing is Sneasler's still getting chipped down, which is obviously also very nice. So we'll see what my opponent wants to do here. We also still have Talonflame in the back. Talonflame can always win. Like, Sneasler can never win as long as Talonflame is alive, basically. And Stash is broken, which is obviously very nice. If Robin comes in, it dies to a Sludge Wave, and we are very happy about that. So I'm very curious to see what comes in. Nothing else wants to take an Earth Power. We're going to see Robin's. That is going to be this Pokemon switching in here. And this, I think, might die. It just dies to rocks. That's massive. Wow. Okay. So Robin goes down. That is great for me. So we are going to go for Earth Power. I think, actually, I would prefer to go for a U-turn. I would prefer if they lived. But that's fine. That's a defensive kill for Lando. I will gladly take that. Moltres is off the field. That makes Primarina's job a lot easier, which is really good to know. Sneasler or Pult is going to come in here. I'm hoping it's going to be Pult. If it's not, Sneasler is fine. I do kind of want to save Lando, though. I don't know why. I do want to save Lando. I think it's because Lando looks really, really solid into my opponent's, the rest, like, three parts of my opponent's team. Let's see. We're going to see Prez. That's going to be Pult. So Pult's going to come in, actually. That's fine. I'm okay with this. And your boots. Okay, your boots pulled. That makes sense. So I think here what I'm going to do, that's actually really good information. I'm really happy with that. We could see a U-turn here. Do I think we see U-turn here? I probably... Okay, here's what it comes down to. Do I make a passive play and they go for a U-turn? I don't think so. I don't think I do that here. I think what I do, because I think I do this play. I'm gonna lock this in. We're gonna see Hex, so that confirms your special. Okay. I think I go into Hydra and I click Terra Poison now. So that way, yeah, I go into Hydra and I click Terra Poison. That's what I do here every single time. The reason I do this is because of the fact that Grass Dragon typing just does not help me here at all in this situation. So this is great. So we're gonna Terra, obviously. Draco Meteor is very obvious, and I do like that play a lot, but I think Earth Power makes more sense. So I'm gonna go for Earth Power. We are gonna go for the Terra. We're probably clicking U-turn if I had to guess. My guess is U-turn into Vaporeon. U-turn into Vaporeon makes the most sense to me in my head. So that's what I would be expecting. I do feel a lot more comfortable now that the Terra Poison's been triggered. And that feels pretty good for me. We're gonna see U-turn, obviously. Obvious play is obvious. We are still gonna recover full HP with regen, which is obviously very nice. We could see the Dawn Fan switch in. No, Dawn Fan's not switching in. Vaporeon's probably gonna switch in here. I think it has to be Vaporeon. Trixie, yep, that's Vaporeon. So, Vaporeon's gonna switch in here, that's fine. We are okay with this. We're gonna fire with Earth Power, it's gonna do a decent chunk of damage into you. You're probably specially invested if I had to guess. I'm gonna go for Giga Drain now, because I can just do that for free. We're gonna see lefties, that's fine. We've seen Wish, we've seen Roar, we've seen Wish and Roar. I'm gonna go for Giga Drain here every single time. Recover my HP. Vaporeon never wins this game. As long as Araquanid and Hydrapple are alive, Vaporeon never wins this game, which is very good to know. We're gonna see Protect. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. You're probably trying to see if I'm Specs or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. We're just gonna go for Giga Drain. We reveal that we have it. If you go for Terra Poison, that means Terra Chi-Yu does not Terra, and I'm very happy with that. So... that is completely fine by me. Alright, Trixie restored HP using lefties, that's fine. We go for Giga Drain here every single time. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Yeah, Wish, that's fine. Okay. Wish passing probably into Dawn Fan if I had to guess. We're gonna go for Giga Drain. Oh my gosh. Was that a crit? That wasn't a crit. Bro, Hydrapple's cracked. Bro, I think Hydrapple's insane. I think Hydrapple might be that guy. I think Hydrapple might be, low-key, might be that guy. Sneasler can come in. I'm clicking Giga Drain again. I don't care. Chi-Yu can come in. I don't care. Protect. I don't care. I'm clicking Giga Drain again. You cannot win this 1v1. You literally cannot win this 1v1. This is very massive for me. This is humongous. This is really good. I could click Giga Drain here. I think I click Giga Drain here regardless. I think that's just what I do for free. I don't see a reason why I don't. I click Giga Drain here. They're going to have a very hard time breaking this Pokemon. We're going to see the double protect and they fail. Let's go. Love to see that. Giga Drain, boom, does a lot of damage. Vaporeon's going to have a very hard time switching into anything now, which is really massive. I'm very glad about that. Alright, let's go Giga Drain again. I'm just going to keep clicking Giga Drain, and I'm just going to keep doing damage. If you want to go for Scald for damage, you can. You can't go for Roar. You go for Wish, that's fine. Okay, Vaporeon goes down. Huge. That is insanely huge for me. I won't lie. Okay. Very massive. So, Vaporeon goes down. Hydra's in a very good position. Let's see. I still really like AV. I still really like AV a lot on both this Pokemon and the other Pokemon, especially for the Dragapult. We're going to see Eric come in. That's going to be Dawn Fan. I'm okay with this. You probably think you outspeed me, which, if I've done my calcs correct, you should not outspeed me. I go for Giga Drain here, and this will hopefully die, actually, because I did speed creep this. Now, the question is, does Maki realize it? No, she doesn't! Let's go, Dawn Fan! Dies. Let's go. Hydrapple, the GOAT. Hydrapple is quite literally that GOAT. Hydrapple is quite literally that guy. Hydrapple going absolutely nutty. We're gonna see Pulp. That's fine with me. Alrighty, I'm gonna go for... I guess I could go for... I can just unleash a Draco here, right? Everything dies to a Draco. Yeah, literally everything dies to a Draco. Is there a reason I don't do this? U-turn. Okay, hold on a second. Can Chi-Yu kill me with a... Okay, I can't kill with a Draco. It does more damage than Earth Power does. Can I kill Sneasler with this? Sneasler, Monotype Choice Band, just for fun. Yes, I should be able to kill. I think Draco Meteor is just a free button click. I'm gonna click Draco here. I don't care. Where's the Dragon Darts? That's fine. Okay, so you were mixed attacking. That's really cool, actually. I think this is a dead... should be a dead Dragapult. Let's go. Alright, Pult dies. Beautiful. Alrighty. Perfection. Okay, so this is actually, again, really, really nice for us. Chi is going to be Terra Electric. That makes sense. We're going to switch out here regardless of what switches in. Probably, we could see Sneasler, I guess. If Sneasler comes in, though, yeah, obviously it's going to be this Pokemon. Okay, so just the fish comes in, and you take damage from rocks, which means you're probably choiced. Yep, you weaken this with death of all my Pokemon. That's fine. What Pokemon do I not need here? I don't need Crook. I think, does Crook go down here as much as I don't want it to? I think so, unfortunately. Yeah, I think so. Ugh. Do I do that, though? Yeah, I guess I should. Right? Yeah, I guess I should. As much as I don't want to, I think that's my right play. We're gonna switch out here. Bada bing, bada boom. Alrighty. We could see them lock into Terra Blast, too. If they lock into Terra Blast, then they are kind of just cooked. Alright, Crook, let's go. Let's see what they want to do here. We're gonna see Dark Pulse, actually. So they don't even Terra, they just go for Dark Pulse. If they're choice locked into that, then I think we just go for Scale Shot and win the game. I think it's just what we do. So I'm gonna go for Scale Shot and just win the game. Yeah, we're gonna see a Dark Pulse here, that's fine. So they're choice locked into Dark Pulse. Come on, Crook. Come on, Crook, I believe in you. No, Crook, no! What do you mean, Crook? What do you mean? Bruh, that sucks. That's so sad. This is so sad. No, no, and a crit to finish it off. Crook, you were the chosen one. You were the chosen one, Crook. You were the chosen one. No! Oh, man, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess Siren's a pretty free swap, right? Yeah, Siren's a pretty free swap here. I can also go into this Pokemon for free. What do I do? It doesn't really matter, does it? You're probably staying in with this Pokemon. Yeah, you're probably staying in with this Pokemon. Okay, hold on a second, because I want to prioritize differential here. Talonflame versus Chi-Yu. Brave Bird, let's see, if you Terra Electric here, Terra Electric to 68 to 80%. I mean, honestly, I could just also go Hydra, right? Yeah, I can just go Hydra. I can just go Hydrapple here. Yeah, I think I just go Hydrapple. Dark Pulse is 47 to 56% if you are Choice Specs, which you could be Choice Specs, but we should still take this if you are Choice Specs. So I'm gonna go for an Earth Power and hopefully pick up the kill. That'd be pretty cool. We're gonna see Dragon Balls here, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. We flinch. Great. Okay, wonderful. Great, wonderful. All right, I'm gonna go into Siren here. No more of this nonsense. No more of this nonsense. Okay, we're gonna go into this Pokemon now. Siren, Talonflame can win the game as long as I get Chip. As long as I get Chip on this, Talonflame can always win the game. So I think Prim is going to come in here. Yep, okay. Dark Pulse, that's fine. Alrighty. I go for a Surf. Yeah, I think I always go for Surf here, right? I think that's just always what I do. I think I always go for Surf. Because, well, no, I always go for Moonblast, right? Can I kill this with a Moonblast? Let's see. If you Terra Electric, no. Moonblast is a 2-shot, regardless. I'm going to Moonblast here, because I think you're going to Terra here, is my guess. My guess is you're going to Terra here. That sucks, so this will probably be put to a 3-0 then, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hello Kitty is going to come in, and it's going to be this Pokemon, that's fine. Alright, this will still do a lot of damage to this Pokemon, which is great. Moonblast, bada bing, bada boom. Bludushkis. Wow, let's go. Love to see that. Alright, we could see a Dire Claw here. I think Dire Claw makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to figure out, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure I guarantee win this game. I think, do I let Prim go down? I'm trying to think, because again, a lot of this comes down to diff. Araquanid can always win the game regardless. I think I can go into Hydra here, though. I think Hydra is a safe switch here. Because, yeah, I'm not going to speak any Dire Claw shenanigans into existence here. I'm not going to speak any of that into existence. Oh, I forgot to nickname my Hydrapple. Whoops. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. We're going to see a Dire Claw here. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so we go for Earth Power here every single time. Every single time we go for Earth Power here. Okay. So, then it just basically comes down to what moves do they lock into. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a guaranteed way I win? I don't think so. If they swap it to Chi-Yu now, they lose. So they can't do that. They have to stay in. They have to hope for Dire Claw shenanigans, I think. Which, to be fair, they could get. They could definitely get that. But they also don't know. Well, they should know I'm AV at this point. I'm trying to think. How do I maximize diff here? Because that's. The more differential I have, the better my odds are of making it playoffs at this point. I don't know, honestly. This is very tough. They're definitely thinking a lot. So, yeah, they CC here, they have to. Boom, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, I always go for regen here. I always switch out for regen purposes. And then, do I go into Araquanid then? I guess I could go Araquanid. I think, no, you're going to Terra Blast, Terra Electric. That's what you're going to do here. You're going to Terra Blast, Terra Electric. That's absolutely what you're going to do here. You're going to Terra Blast, Terra Electric. I can feel that in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. I think you have to do that. I don't, unfortunately, I don't think there's a way that I can prevent, yeah, there's no way that I can prevent another kill from happening. So I think I just have to go into Siren here. So that's what I'm going to do here. You're locking into Terra Blast, Terra Electric, I think, is what you're going to do here, which is unfortunate, but it do be like that sometimes. Terra Blast. Let's see, this should always kill if you Terra here. Yep, okay. Now you could be Choice Scarf. So what is that going to do to a Araquanid? Let's see here. 54 to 65% if your Choice Scarf, which means we should always live. I'm assuming the Terra Electric is going to pop off here. Let's see, Hydrapple, Terra Poison does 31 to 37%. Yeah, Terra Blast comes out here. That makes sense. Okay. Whadduskis. Yeah, okay. So this should be, in theory, a 3-0. Let me double check with my Pokemon. 195, I should always live. Let's see. 195, 55, I think you take it down to like, okay, what if your Choice Specs though? I think I should always win this. How do I always win this? I'm gonna go into Hydra. Let's see how good the HP I'm at. Do I think you're Specs or do I think you're Scarf? That's what this comes down to. Do I think you're Specs or do I think you're Scarf? 151. So I'm at 151. All right, 151, 43%. You always kill me if you are Specs. Do I think you're Specs? How much damage did you do to Crook? Crocodile with the Dark Pulse, 54 to 63%. I think you are Specs. I'm pretty sure you are Specs. So I think I have to switch into Talonflame and let it go down here, unfortunately. All right. That sucks, but it do be like that sometimes. I think you're Specs. Is my guess. I guess it could have also gone Iraq, but that's fine. We're gonna see a Terra Blast here. Okay. This should be a dead Talonflame, I imagine. There's no way you live this, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're gonna go 2-0. I think I could have done better with the differential there, but it is what it is. Let's see. I think... Yeah, I should win with Earth Power. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Alrighty, Earth Power, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. This should be GG's. And we are going to finish off the season 4-4 with a 2-0 victory. Let's go! Holy crap! I'm glad I played it safe. I think that was more important. I definitely think that was more important. Apparently, I just noticed that my teammate my opponent misclicked. Mach-E misclicked there. So I'm really sorry about that misclick. I don't know when exactly that was, but we will take that regardless. GG's. I definitely could have played that better, I think. I could have played that endgame a bit better for differential purposes, but overall, I said I wanted to win 4-4. I'm glad I won 4-4. I'm glad that that's what happened there. I'm very okay with this. Let's see. So the chances of me making playoffs are probably slim to none. I basically need Zachmander to either win 1-0 or lose the game, and then I also need TJP to lose guaranteed. I'm not counting on that, but you know what? We'll see. I'll probably have a little blurb here talking about what happened after the game and all that fun stuff. So thank you all so much regardless for this season of the MDL. It was an extreme honor regardless of whether I make it in the playoffs or not to be a coach in this league. Again, I was asked to join. I'm really glad I did. And all things considered, considering this was a team that I just picked up and I made some changes obviously, but overall a lot of this team stayed the same. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I'm sure I'll talk about the team at some point. But yeah, once again, GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played. I'll talk about things once they happen. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the little outro blurb. See you in playoffs.